Hey everybody, welcome back to The Pressing Matters. I'm Scott. Thank you for tuning in today and thank you for your support. Just when I thought I was finished upgrading the system with the System Audio Pandion 30 speakers, a purchase which I don't know how I swung it. I mean, they were a great deal. They were used, of course, but it was quite a chunk of money for me. I just finished paying it off. Oswaldo Martinez, the famous Oswaldo Martinez from Let There Be Sound, my friend, an audio dealer, comes to me and says, "Hey, Scott, I just took in this VPI Scout and it's really tricked out nicely. Would you like to hear it in your system?" I was like, "Oswaldo, every time you do this, I end up buying the damn thing." He's like, I said, "I can't afford to buy a turntable, so if, you know, I don't think it's a good idea. And I love my Basis 1400. He said, "Look, I took it in on trade. I haven't even, you know, tested it yet. I just got it. And all I want is to get the money either way. So I could sell your Basis 1400 for about the same amount of money." I was like, "You mean it wouldn't cost me anything?" He's like, "No, an even trade." Okay, that's the kind of deal that's too hard to resist. So, and the ability to audition it in your home with your own cartridge is a big plus. Yeah, Oswaldo has been a godsend for me. Really a wonderful friend and an excellent dealer. He just doesn't do this for me. He does it for anybody. So, he brought over the turntable. We unpacked it. It's the first time he had seen it since he saw it displayed at the client's house. As I said, he hadn't tested it. So we mounted the Hana ML on it, and he mounted the Audio Technica AT33 on the Basis. So we had both of them here, not for comparisons because they don't have the same cartridge, but just, you know, so I would have the Basis with something usable on it. So we were ready to go, ready to roll. We fired up the motor, and the motor failed after a couple of rotations. I was like, oh no. We weren't sure why, but he took it apart, looked at it, looked like it was wired right. We checked the fuses. The fuses seemed like they weren't the correct fuses. Contacted VPI. From what we could gather, they were not the correct fuses. So for whatever reason, the motor failed, and we had to source a new motor from VPI. So we did that. The new motor arrived a few days later. Oswaldo installed it into the motor pod, and voila, the motor was working fine. From there, we played our first record. The record I chose was this, because we had heard it a few weeks before on the Basis with the Hana. This is Andreas Vollenweider, Pace Verde. It's a 45 RPM cut. Very, very nice record. Instrumental, of course. I don't know if he was... We both are familiar with it, but not super familiar with it. We played it on the VPI, and it sounded wonderful. I could sense it was an improvement over the Basis. And I was like very encouraged. It had a more solid, rock solid kind of feel to it. And a stability that I don't think I heard as well as on the Basis. So I was encouraged. We went on to the next record. I picked out Belafonte Sings the Blues, the Classic 45. Put that on, and immediately I was like, uh-oh, Oswaldo, I don't think this is accurately, at the accurate speed. It sounds slow. And we listened a little more, and once Belafonte came in, he was like, yeah, this doesn't sound like the right speed. So we tried one other record that we know inside out, and that was Steely Dan's Gaucho. Gaucho sounded slow. There was no question about it. There was a problem. So he got out his stroboscope disc and set and all that and checked the speed, and neither speed was correct, no matter where on the pulley we put it. So I said, well, it's got to be the pulley. He said, well, there are at least four pulleys for VPI turntables. He sent the whole motor back to VPI. They checked it out. The motor's fine. But in knowing the rest of the assembly, the Classic Platter, Matt Weisfeld said, no, you need this pulley. What happened was the previous owner was using the SDS speed controller. And when you use that, apparently, you know, you can get by with the incorrect pulley and it's still going to perform at the correct speed. What happened was the original owner must have upgraded the platter at some point, and he didn't upgrade the pulley. To use the Classic Platter on the VPI, you have to have a special pulley. So that was one thing. He was getting the results either way because he had the SDS, but we don't have the SDS in this situation. He didn't sell it. He wanted to hang on to it. So we're waiting for the pulley. So that should solve the problem. And if it does solve the problem, and I do find that it's an upgrade in sound, and I want it to be significant because I really do love my basses, but part of that's visual appeal, but it has been sounding wonderful lately. If it is a rock solid upgrade, and I have to think about this in terms of another aspect of this. The Bassist 1400 is a lock system. There's not much you can do to upgrade it besides just change the cartridge. It shares the same motor with the upper models. You can't upgrade the bearing or the platter, the feet as well. There's nothing to upgrade on this basis. All the models above this have an upgrade path. With the VPI, it's like a la carte. You can upgrade everything. You can upgrade VTA on the fly to VTA on the fly. You can upgrade platters. You can upgrade motors. You can upgrade counterweights and anti-skate. You can upgrade the arm. It's a unipivot design, so I could get a second arm and have a mono cartridge on there and switch back and forth with ease, because I am no longer able to do cartridge installation. I have to have Oswaldo do it because my site is not really good for that. I just can't do it. I'm afraid to do it at this point, especially with an expensive cartridge. So, you know, having the ability to switch arms is a big plus for me as a reviewer, because so many mono records are coming in and I'd love to hear them with a mono cartridge. So there's a lot of pluses for me to have the VPI. If the sound is truly on another level, then I'll probably do it, especially where it's not going to cost very much at all. There is one of these massive acrylic dust covers that Oswaldo bought from the guy. I don't know. I don't know. It makes it into like this huge museum piece, but I might buy that from Oswaldo just for all the effort he put into this. But this is a very interesting development, and I can't wait to see how it all plays out. If it plays out well, I probably will buy an ADS controller and get the ADS pulley and finally have it completely tricked out. But that is the update so far. So I'll let you know what I think as things go along. Until next time, I'm Scott for the Pressing Matters. Have a great day.